Hello everybody. You are watching series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. And today's success story is about Dr. Tanmoy Bhattacharya. He is the managing director of MGI Capital India Private Limited.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello Dr. Bhattacharya, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So, kind of Indian Achievers Forum, basically, considering me as one of the things, it was really good to achieve it.
You are very well deserved. And before we actually begin the session, we would love to know a little bit more about you and your professional roles as well.
Okay, I have a professional career spanning of over 24 years now. Been a global professional with serving companies like Siemens, L&T. I was the head of business initiatives for Larsen and Toubro before joining in with the $25 billion group from Singapore into advisory management and consultancy, of which MGI Capital is also a part. Our
Right.
group, basically, MGI Capital is a part of the Minot Group, a $25 billion international group, which is headed by Mr. Shahzad Naseem, Dr. Shahzad Naseem, and Mr. Omar Shahzad is our group CEO, but Dr. Shahzad Naseem is our chairperson. And I am proud to be associated with the group. And MGI, as you say, that is short form to Minot Group International. We recently diversified into the services of providing transaction advisory and investment banking and financial services. That is what is all the MGI Capital is all about.
Right, amazing. So, also, I would love to know a little bit about your journey. How has that been? Has it been a smooth ride, or were there any challenges that you had to face? And, how did you actually overcome those challenges?
Well, the journey has been very tough for a person coming from a small town village in the northeast, hills of northeast, struggling through this corporate world, then moving overseas in the course of this, by basically into the project management. As you know, every fraction of a second, every time is a challenge. Every new project, every new dimension is a challenge for itself. So it's all has gone through the learning curve from starting at a ground level into the sales and operation and being today where I am. It's been a
Right.
journey of well experienced over the past 24 years now.
Wow, I think you've had a great journey there, Mr. Bhattacharya. So,
Thank
also, we've
you.
spoken about the past, but I would love to know what are the future plans of MJI like?
Well, we had this MGI intentions of having MGI Capital over here because it was a dream of our chairman, Dr. Naseem, about his intentions into having operations based in India.
Right.
Because he actually is a Singaporean national with an and with his family having a link to India from the pre-partition days, wherein his uh, wife's side come from now the present Indian state, and that is what has been always his focus. That it has been India as a focus. As Minot Group, we have contributed to very beautiful landmark projects in India, like the Delhi International Airport, or
Right.
being a part of the GMR Advisory Council, then the part advisory to the Statue of Unity. And we have been and our continuous forum have been into foray into the airport and all of this business, wherein we are basically coming in into as an engineering planners and design consultants or some lead consultancy services, getting our name associated for design reviews and all with the Pragati Maidan Convention Center. So this kind of landmark processes we were involved as Minart, as engineers and planners. But the trend of the focus industry into the consultancy is also changing, where more and more clients are looking for end-to-end services. So
Correct.
being stationed out of a financial hub of the world, which is Singapore, we always were having that upper hand and edge. And there is a lot of linkages between India and Singapore when it comes to trade and when it comes to bilateral trade arrangements and agreements. So, as a visionary, you would look into. So, we had a lot of transactions also going on, but those transactions we are operating from either our registered head office of MGI Capital in Hong Kong and Singapore, and we were operating the Indian market. So when I came in into the picture, Dr. Naseem as a visionary leader, he always said that, Dr. Tanmay, why don't you pick up something to and incorporate a company in India itself? Because if you see the talent pool which is working in Singapore, whether it is you or your associates, they all come from Indian origin. And so
Correct.
why not we look into the see, and India is one of the biggest and the prosperous economy going to be in the future. And as a visionary leader, we have a right leadership like which is quite proactive in terms of corporate world, and a lot of support things are coming. Okay, I don't want to get into political views and opinions, being focused into the corporate world and the business scenarios and all. But yes, the ease of doing business, what used to be previously 5 years, 6 years back in India, has changed. A lot of things have changed. A lot of notions about being uh, there's- there are a lot of flaws in the system, the notion to the outside world. Because for me, I have worked in the European subcontinent, I have worked in the Singaporean or the Southeast Asian subcontinent, African subcontinent. So seeing a lot of things, India was always looked into like a country where there are a lot of challenges when it comes to incorporating a new company or incorporation of these things. So which over the period of the last few years have been streamlined, and a lot of process have become online, which is actually attracting and drawing a lot of international companies to come and set up business here in India.
Correct.
And being
Absolutely.
an Indian, worked overseas, we always feel that it should be India should be made as a hub, because if you see the globally, most of the companies, right from the companies like Google or previously Pepsi and all these things, have been headed by Indians.
Correct. Absolutely. I think the future looks really bright for you guys, and I wish you all the luck there. We've spoken about the past a bit. We know what the future plans look like. But, the pandemic that we're in right now, the situation that we are in, a lot of stress is being given on becoming Atmanirbhar. I would love to know your role of Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign in your organization's progression path. Could you tell us a bit about that?
As a part of the organization, as a part of the being Atmanirbhar, if you see, the first step which we took from this is setting up a company over here in India itself. So we
Right.
moved the corporate headquarters into India, and because most of our talent pool, whether it is our associate partners into investment banking and all, were all primarily of Indian origin. So the people, I have an associate partner into investment banking, which is Mr. Karan Shah. He has been also instrumental in one of the decision-making policies about the company setting up this corporate headquarters here in India. And right now we have set up our offices in Connaught Place, which is the heart of India. And
Right.
a lot of talent pool which was working with us actually overseas have been brought in into India. So, for example, for me, I was earlier earning overseas and paying my taxes overseas. But now, after coming back into India, so even me, I'll be earning here in India and paying my taxes to the government. That will be an indirect way of helping. But
Correct.
what we are really looking into, that the government also should look into a lot of easing of taxation and other corporate policies to attract a lot of investments into India. And that is the reason why we set shop over here. It is like that we'll be bringing in a lot of international expertise, a lot of international funds, which really has put the trust in us. Being a Singapore-based company, there are a lot of other private sector banking and investment firms which we are also associated with globally. Then our connects with different investment organization like James Smith Incorporation or overseas private investment corporation of the government of the US, and the private sector funding will being of different government funds or angel investment funds. They are actually looking into India in a very broader spectrum, because if you see globally, we have the best of the talent pool and very cost effective talent pool. So if you see that 70% of the industry, IT industry, the talent pool is based out of India. Even if you see the Singapore, the people are of 40-50% are of the highly established businessmen are of the Indian origin, Indian subcontinental origin. So that makes it like a homecoming for us. And when we look into the homecoming part of it, we also feel that that as a part of the homecoming, we bring in a lot of talent pool and resources back into India, and that will also directly help in the growth, because as we had worked overseas, we have worked with a lot of transparent policies, and especially working with Singapore and the financial sectors and all. There is a lot of trust on Singapore-based companies globally among the financial sectors. And when
Right.
we come in here to set up our base here in India, because of the open policies of the government and because of the openness of the government towards the providing a corporate look from the bureaucratic look change over to the corporate look, we think that this will really help in lot of increasing a lot of boost in having into manufacturing sector and attracting a lot of international data centers and advisors into this, and that will really help the youth. And it will also stop another biggest problem. If you see India, if you see on the global map, is the biggest source of this recruitment for international universities.
Right.
Most of the talent pools, the whichever with the cream, they try to go and get higher education in UK or US or in Singapore or in Australia, and those countries, they provide them the platform with a lot of scholarships and all. And recently, our government was quite helpful in changing the educational policy also. And uh, in fact, my son studied overseas, and now he has come into the international baccalaureate program over here into the final year of his diploma program. He was also seeing that it's very easy when he used to attend international MUNs from international countries. He said that we Indians are the best orators and the best competitors, and that is yes, the huge amount of competition actually we physically face to come up through the ranks makes us quite tougher to take challenges worldwide, and that is why we are successful also as Indians globally. Hmm.
Right.
But those talent pool, if the government can open up corporate policies to bring them back to the country, would really help the country to be Atmanirbhar and achieve the dream which our Honorable Prime Minister is looking to achieve.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you've explained it really well, because it's high time that we realize that we have such huge amount of talent in the country itself and utilize it to the best way possible. Okay, so there's one question that I'm very, very intrigued to know, Mr. Bhattacharya, and that is, how did you feel on winning the Indian Achievers Awards? What was the reaction like? Could you tell us a bit about that?
Can I be very honest?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it was a surprise. It was sometimes it was like winning a lottery. I've struggled hard over these years to deliver without even aspiring to be getting an award or something like that. Always trying to, one might be craving to share the space with some big wigs for achieving this award when we were a part of the audience, and yet turning that craving into reality is the biggest achievement for me.
Right.
Awards actually, do not only acknowledge success, they recognize many other qualities. It's like ability, struggle, effort, commitment, transparency, and above all, the experience what you gain over the year in the path of the journey of your life. And the award raises, it's not only raises me, but also raises the name and the brand value of my organization. Suppose like that, and you alone cannot win an award. I am really thankful to my dedicated team, especially to my secretarial team like Sindhu Madam, or the technical assistant team like Aprup and Rituparna and Mansi in the financial team, and my associate partner Karan. Who it's a like a teamwork. It's not me that I dedicate almost this award equally to them. This is where is actually a great effort of a team being coming on a common platform for sharing knowledge, experience, ideas, thoughts, views, and that is how it makes you a complete total achiever. And
Absolutely.
thank Indian Achievers this for recognizing me and bestowing me with this award. And secondly, thankful to my mentor, our group chairman, Dr. Shehzad Naseem, who has given me and shown the trust in me to lead this organization. And hopefully, we will be able to contribute to the growing Indian scenario of business.
Absolutely, and I wish you all the luck, Dr. Bhattacharya, for all your future projects. May you keep inspiring everyone like you have been till now. Also, could you tell us a bit about your social contribution? How the company is, contributing to the society?
Well, we are, as a part of the youth initiative drive, basically, we have just set up our shop just before the COVID thing become, but it is in our agenda that we will be contributing a lot towards the social this thing and the cause, because Dr. Naseem is one of the best known social entrepreneur who contributes a lot as a part of the Minard group. There's a lot of contribution when it comes towards the society and the help. But as a leader of MGI Capital, my entire dream is that we will try to contribute in terms of cultivating youth into, we'll try to organize some workshops and some programs wherein we go and speak ourselves into the platform and youth gatherings where we try to put an end. We try to give them that confidence. No, you just go overseas, attend the best of your education, then come back. Your country has a lot. If you see in your country, you live in a country which is like almost 80% land. You go outside the metros, you find it vacant and agricultural lands. So the country which has a lot of abundance of greenery and has been rated, and it is a diversified. You go, you have minerals, you have everything. It is just like exploitation of resources needs to be taught to the youth. And what has to be more taught to them? Believe in yourself being an Indian first, because you overseas, whatever you go and deliver, you still are in an alien land. But here, when you come back, even to me, coming back to the country after say 15, 16 years working overseas, I really have a very good feel factor when I start operating out of India and visit overseas. And when somebody asks me on a global platform that where are you from, I say I am from India. It really takes that, really gives you that adrenaline to be very proud to say that you are from India.
Absolutely.
And in a lot of international forums also, you said, you Indians partly rule the world. Like your base is Indian, Google is Indian, that is Indian. Really, you feel proud listening to that. But yes, we should try to make India as our home base and then make it a launch platform. That is actually, we will try to get into some team building or invest into something which is on the part of the CSR, into promoting the youth to believe in themselves and believe in India.
Right. Wow, I think the future looks great from here. And with this, we've come to the end of the session. But before we actually conclude the conversation, I would love to know if you have any message to give to all the people who are watching you right now, Dr. Bhattacharya, and also, especially the younger generation who wish to be an entrepreneur someday. Any piece of advice for them?
See, what I would like to say, that there is an age-old saying which says that luck occurs when preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
So my message to the new generation is, okay, luck is a factor, but being successful often means learning from those who have already achieved their goals. Having a mentor and is always an important part of life. See, I also had a few great mentors in my life, especially my first boss, Mr. Aditya Chaturvedi. Then I remember having worked under the leadership of SN Subramaniam from L&T and MV Satish from L&T, and these are the people, and then DK Sen from L&T. So these are the people who have shared their experiences, day-to-day real-life experiences, and we actually were interested in learning and listening to stories about, sir, what you have done, what were you doing there, how did you manage this, how did you manage it? There are a lot of international things, interaction and conversation also helps in to be you through push yourself through the learning curve basically, but not everyone can find that same kind of a person, so it is more and more personal relations, and the people should be open. And because see, nowadays if you see, there is a lot of trend change which has come, that the people are youth is basically becoming self-centric, like they are basically glued to the TV or the video game and all, so the social interaction is there only left to the social platforms. So more of physical interactive forums or this, they should join more of physical interaction forums, because come whatsoever, maybe the jet age or the net age, whatever you called, or the e age, whatever you called, personal relationship, touch and bonding is the most important key, and your successful means is a part to your success can be achieved more with a lot of personal interaction and bonding rather than through the e-bonding.
Correct.
That is what would be our message to the youth as being a part of the uh, development program. To be a successful entrepreneur, first of all, you have to set up a successful example within yourself to be a good individual, first of all.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you've explained it really well, and to all the people who are watching you right now, I'm sure they all are inspired just like me. So thank you again for being with us today, Dr. Bhattacharya. You are truly an achiever, and I wish you all the luck for all your future projects. May you keep inspiring everyone with your new milestones every day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you once again, Indian Achievers, for
Thank you so much.
bestowing this award. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you.